Can we talk about your life coming from Ghana to Britain, your refugee background? I wonder what you think of how refugees are being treated in Britain today. I'm thinking about Ukraine and the Rwanda policy.
This country was built on refugees, people from India, people from Africa, the Commonwealth sort of embraced all these countries. So I feel that sending people to Rwanda is not really the solution. I'm a refugee, and I think refugees contribute to the country, so we have to be, we have to have empathy, and I think sometimes empathy, it's quite hard for people to show. I think that's the only way forward when it comes to refugees.
So would you like to see a change in that policy in terms of, with your background, and there are so many stories similar to yours actually,
yes,
from government ministers, would you like to see that policy gone and something more inclusive, more helpful, replacing it?
I mean, I would love to see a more helpful, inclusive policy in place. Because when you tell people that they're not needed, when you tell people they're not wanted, that's a problem in itself. You might be saying no to the next person, the next doctor who's going to discover the next vaccine, or the next, prime minister. You could be turning incredible people away. So we have to be very careful.
There is this phrase at the moment, being woke, and all of a sudden it seems on trend to be anti-woke. And a lot of that, the new Prime Minister is seen as anti-woke. Do you think there's space for both in terms of, what does being woke mean to you? And what's the backlash? Why is there a backlash to, speaking about issues that matter?
To me, the word woke, I don't even know what it means. I'm a result of wokeness, if you want. I was somebody who was welcomed into the UK, So for me, just a country that is unified regardless of your background will always be a great thing for me. So I don't really take that word on board.
Can we talk about Black History Month? Talk to me about why that is important and why you want to devote the magazine during that month to Black history. I
mean, Black history is ignored quite a lot of the times, and I feel like we have to sort of teach a new generation, not just Black people, but people of all colours, what Black people have been through, what it's taken to get here, and also how to be compassionate, how to sort of work together, live together, and create a real society where, everybody really gives their best. So Black History Month is really now more important than ever.
If you look at the current government, it's one of the most diverse in history. Do you think they should be doing better, given the visibility of different races in government? Are they actually walking the walk?
I mean, I think we all should do better. Anybody with a platform, any sort of famous person of colour should really do better. For me, I can't, speak for the politicians, but I know that in the fashion industry, there was a reckoning when George Floyd was murdered, and every day I talk about employment behind the scenes, giving people from different backgrounds, not just internships, but also, mid-level roles and CEO roles. So that's really what, in my industry, what I'm doing.
Are you disappointed we didn't see Britain's first Prime Minister of colour in Rishi Sunak?
I mean, it's a different time. It would have been great, but, this wasn't the time. That's all you can really say.
What are the chances of the new Prime Minister, Liz Truss, being featured in Vogue? Apparently she asked Nicola Sturgeon, the First Minister, how to get in Vogue. What does she have to do to get into the magazine?
I mean, we feature people who are sort of doing things at the moment, who have something to do with the zeitgeist. So I'm just, we're waiting to see, how she progresses, and then we'll have that conversation again.
Who would be your ultimate cover star?
I feel we've had so many incredible people on the cover. I always wanted the Queen for her services to, duty. Moving forward, I mean, I really love the covers we did in lockdown, which is sort of Judi Dench at 85 and The Essential Worker. So I'd love to sort of, and here comes an exclusive, I'd love to have sort of more real women on the cover. women who are not necessarily movie stars or musicians, but really represent the world, represent their worlds that they're in.